from the bottom. From the bottom. You know we got it. What's up, y'all? Cal back here from the bottom. Today we got a special guest in the building, Mr. Kellz, aka Kelly, aka Mr. Stockbroker.
Yep, I wish it was like that.
Sorry Jared couldn't be here with us tonight, but we gotta keep it going. He taking the day off. I want to send a shout out to Fat Lulz Radio and the X Squad. Appreciate it. What's up to all y'all. But hey, we gonna hop right into it today. Kelly's been waiting a long time to get on this episode. Get on a episode. Because that's all he talk about is what he would have said, what he could have done. Today we're gonna see see if he gonna keep us interested. I'm pretty sure y'all gonna let me know, if he was dry or not. Go and tell him, Kellz, who are you?
Well, like I was saying, my name is Kelly. Met Cal from work, but a little bit more about myself. From California, but I'm a military brat. Lived all around the world. Lived in England, Japan, several states here. So, been around the world quite a few times. Seen my share of places. Other than that, have a wife, wonderful little girl, enjoying the family life. Some other activities I just like doing is spend my time at the shooting range a little bit, going to games here in the Seattle area, go support them Sounders. Just not a real big Seahawks fan, but I watch them because my wife does.
Oh, he really gets kicked off now.
Man, no one cares about them Hawks. It's all about them Redskins, Hey, I know they're not no better, but hey, gotta keep it real. I love my Skins.
That's all bad. All bad.
But head up to Seattle, go catch Mariner games as well. So let's get into it. What you got for me, man?
So Kelly is a business owner, and it's almost like a little business episode right here. So we're gonna ask him some questions that we want to know. But I know a lot of y'all are entrepreneurs, so I'm gonna ask, how important is entrepreneurship? What you think?
To me, growing up, entrepreneurship has always been something I've always wanted to be. I always wanted to be a business owner. I never knew what. And, when you're young, you want that nice, flashy lifestyle. You see people who do, what?
So you want to wear a suit?
Not wear a suit. I just wanted to be my own boss. I wanted to be in charge of myself, In
charge of your destiny.
I guess you could say that. It's nice not having to report to somebody. I could tell you that. Setting your own hours, and I could tell you one thing: the pay is a lot better than what you would get working for somebody else.
But don't you have to work twice as hard than somebody else who worked for somebody else?
Yes, you do. You have to put in your work.
So the rewards are even greater, but it take twice as much work because everything is all on you.
Yes. But as an entrepreneur, and anybody knows, if you want to save costs and
overhead.
If you want to save costs, and cut down on your overhead, you know, you kind of put in the work yourself. So that's what I've been doing. I've been putting in the work in myself. I can raise my money and eventually hire employees to basically run that business for me. Because what I've learned, it's kind of hard to get into it, but I met a gentleman and he changed my mind on business. It wasn't so in my way of life and the way of thinking, especially about money. You know, it's not about what you do to make your money. It's about how much you make it. You know, you may not enjoy your job, but if you make so much money doing this job, it will allow you to do those other activities you would like to embark on. You know, it allows you to get that extra money and invest into something else, that true activity that you like. Like if, let's say, just for instance, if you like working on drones, you know, you may not make a lot of money working a 9-to-5 for John Doe, especially if you're doing like some dead end, just sit at home. Sit at home, telemarketing type deal that you're just trying to peddle something off, you know, you're not making money, especially if you're working those minimum wage jobs.
Yeah.
You know, I do janitorial job, clean. There's nothing glamorous about that, but I make a lot of money doing what I do. But that money allows me to live the lifestyle I want to live, but also put money aside to invest in other features I like. So like I was saying, for someone who likes drones, you know, maybe your ideal company is to do drones, but drones can be an expensive adventure to dive into. So you're doing another side job, like I'm saying, this janitorial gig. I'm doing this just to make money so I can invest that money into something else to make other jobs. You know, eventually I will want my business, this janitorial business, to grow big enough that I can actually walk away. And if it's just making like $5,000-$6,000 alone by itself, and I'm just sitting back doing nothing, but I have people working underneath me, that's what you call an asset. And, you know, that's what I learned in life, is that you have to make assets for yourself. Your business needs to become an asset. You know, everything is an asset or a liability. So to me, my business is, to me, it's just, I'm working in myself just so I can get it made, so I can gain enough capital that I can hire more people, that I can just leave it alone and I can let it make money on my own. So like I said, so while that's making hopefully like $6,000 a month by itself, that's $6,000 of me doing nothing, you know. That's just managing, kicking back, and just checking up on stuff, you know. But in the meantime, while that's just making $6,000, I got my whole day doing nothing. I can go pedal around in drones. I can sit back and go to the shooting range. I can go back and do whatever else I want to do. You know, the time is endless now, you know. My money that I've put in time, this time that I'm setting away from my family, it's sacrifice, but that time that I'm putting away, it's, you know, it's for a reason.
So let me ask you something. So do you think a lot of people don't get into entrepreneurship because of the risk, or because they get comfortable because you got a steady paycheck coming in? Because if you go entrepreneurship, you're not guaranteed to get a steady paycheck coming in until your business take off.
That is true. Oh man, risk. But yeah, I mean, just the fact that you're gonna say I'm not gonna work for somebody and I'm gonna do it on my own it's hard. I mean, it's like I said, it's everything falls on you. It's your ass on the line. I mean, if anything goes wrong, I mean, there's nobody you can there's no one you can pass your BS to. There's no coworker you can be like, well, that's that's Johnny's.
Yeah.
That's Johnny's fault, because Johnny didn't pass the email on to me. So how was I supposed to know? No, there's none of that. It's full responsibility. So the risks, I mean, you got to be responsible, but I mean, like they say, with high risks, I mean, high rewards. And then, I mean, like I said, I make good amount of money, and I make about 3 times more than what I did working for somebody else. And I've probably worked about maybe almost half the time I used to, but I put in a lot of work. But it's the risk that people you just have to get over. I mean, the best thing to do is have a job. I mean, have a job and then do a lot. I mean, this is where that whole part of putting in work is. You got to, if you have your job to keep your bills and everything, well, in your spare time, you don't have time to sit there and BS. You need to put that time in doing something constructive towards that goal that you want, that business. So like if I didn't have the business now, but I wanted the business later, I can't go home and just kick back, watch Netflix and trying to smoke and drink and chill and all that. I mean, if I really want this business to take off, I need to sit back, I need to be on the computer trying to make a flyer, trying to make a something that I can place my bids on.
So you're always busy trying to further your brand.
Yes, you got to constantly be on. You constantly got to think about your business, because your business is everything. I mean, you are your business.
Well, dang, that sounds good. I don't know. This is the business episode right here. He's down here dropping jewels, giving thousandaire advice for free 99.
But no, I mean, once you get over the risks and things start moving, it's good. But yeah, I mean, the best way to play it safe is, have money from your job. But yeah, on that spare time, you gotta put in work. You gotta put in work to further your progress in that business.
So let me ask you something. As far as having your own business, entrepreneurship, do you really think it take money to make money? Because you just can't start nothing for free. Plus, you're going to need some money saved up just in case. With your business, you never know what can happen.
Yeah. It's this. I mean,
so what advice would you give a person who don't have no money saved up, but they really want to start their own stuff?
Oh, man. So there's a couple ways you can go about that. But like you said, it takes money to make money. Man, for me to do this, I had to put myself in debt because I had to get all my stuff. I had to buy my equipment, my supplies. You're constantly, before you're going to be paying for gas. And I mean, like I said, you're not working for anybody else. So, I mean, I wasn't working for anybody else. But fortunately, I have family members that kind of taught me on the way as well on how to do this kind of proper. But so I was limited on my mistakes. But yes, you can take out a loan and put yourself out in debt.
See, it'd be hard to put yourself in debt to go into something with risk that you don't know going to make you a guaranteed profit.
Exactly. Or you can just spend the money you have and put yourself in debt that way. Live off credit cards for a minute, and then you got to pay your stuff back. But like I said, I make money a lot more than what I did before, so it's not an issue.
So since you own your own business, do you think you can ever go back to working for someone?
No, never. Even like, for instance, I sent you a video today, and like I said, this guy kind of summed up how I think about life. If you fail at your business attempt, what are you? You're broke. You're broke again. So what do? You go back. You may go back to working a little petty. You go back to a job and you stack your money again, and you use that money to go off on your next adventure. and you hope that next adventure pays off. And if that adventure pays off, then you use that adventure to, like I said, invest into other things. And like I said, you try to create assets. It's all about creating assets. Assets. You know, those things that make money for you. You know, don't work for your money. Let your money work for you.
So do you think, this coming from a person on the outside, if you starting something, should you go into a field where not the people are, or would it be okay to jump in a field where a lot of people are, as long as you bring your own style to it?
Like I said, that's all about what you want to do. Like I said, I met that gentleman, and he kind of changed my way about money and things like that. From what I do now, like I said, it's not the most glamorous job, but I get paid well for what I do. So that money allows me to go do other things with my money. Like I said, with my money now, I get to invest into the stock market. And that's something I enjoy doing now. And, you know, it got my interests
The Wolf of Wall Street.
It got my interests up in business and, not business. Well, different types of business and what they do, and how other businesses work together, especially products, but also the aspect of, like I said, letting your money work for you. So with the job that I do now, it allows me to have money that I'm able to set aside. Like I said, I make almost 3 times more than I ever made working for somebody else. And that's on a bad month. And like the money that I get now, it allows me to have money to set aside to invest into stock, which allows that money to gain. If that stock gains in value, that money is making me money.
So
versus if I was working a regular 9-to-5 job that I was working for somebody else that's minimum wage, you know, after bills and expenses and all that, you don't have no money to set aside for savings. So like I said, this job isn't so much glamorous. So I dove into a profession that I know I can make a lot of money, that it's cheap on overhead, because supplies and getting the business done, you know, half the time the business will pay for their supplies themselves, or you get the supplies for them and you just charge them. And just like any other business, you charge them a little bit more. You know, you're getting the toilet paper for 50 cents a roll. Well, you charge that company that's buying it, that you're supplying it, you charge them back like 58 cents a roll, $1 per roll.
Supply and demand.
You know, you're supplying them. So, you know, you make money off products like that. Especially if you're managing things like their supplies, because that's just one more step that you're doing for them. So, I mean, make them charge for it. And, you know, it's simple things like that. Make money off that. It's just, like I said, it's not about, like, the job pays the most, which allows me to get into other things. Like I said, if you want to be an actor or like I don't know, a tech worker, well, I mean, big. That's a high paying job, but that's a lot of investment otherwise that you're putting towards that type of job too. I mean, instead of investment as far as yourself making a business, that investment's more in your college education, or not more of your college education, but your skills, I guess you'll use to develop that, I guess, skills.
So, all right. So, I just have to ask this right quick before we move to the next topic. What are 5 benefits of owning your own company other than more money?
Me? I think it's, well, number 1, more money.
No, I said you can't say more money.
Well, it's hard not to. I mean, come
on now. We're trying to help people out there become entrepreneurs.
I mean, isn't that the reason why anyone works? It's for money. I mean, I don't think anyone takes a job I don't think anyone has a $20 per hour job, and just because they like this job will leave that job for an $8 per hour job. So it's money. So money for sure. I mean, but it's also, I mean, the benefits of being without a boss, don't have no one to report to, clock in, timing, none of that. I mean, it's pure freedom. Also, I would have to say just learning how business works, because I can guarantee you with the knowledge I've learned from just running my business now, I can probably go apply for a job that a college applicant has. Someone who just graduated from college with a business degree, he can go and qualify for that job. But I guarantee, he just learned from what he learned in school. I have real world experience. I know what it takes to run a business.
Well, I don't know. I don't know nothing about running a business.
But basically, it's business knowledge. When I was younger in high school, I took a business management courses because I've always been interested in business. But like I said, I just never knew what I wanted to be. And I think that's what happened with me not wanting to go to college, because I think it's that when you get that sense of go to college, it's like you kind of have to. Some people feel like you need that idea of what you're going for, and I felt like I would just go there and waste my time. And I just knew I wanted to do something with business, but I just never knew what. And like I said, I met a gentleman who taught me, it's not about what you do. It's about, what can make you that much money what can make you a lot of money so you can use that money to do other things.
Well, what's funny is, excuse me, I clear my throat. When I started this podcast stuff, I never expected so much knowledge to come through on this show. And a guy asked me the other day, what do I want to do with this podcast? Do I want to make a business out of it? And I never thought about it. Me and Jerry, we do sit back and say, man, how cool it would be if we can just sit back and get paid for this. Like, we could do so much, so much more. But
so
having a podcast almost like having a business.
Yeah. So for instance, how people get paid off podcasts. I mean, I don't have a real big knowledge, but from what I've seen, everybody knows it's all about advertisement. Yeah. Advertisement is what gets you paid. So I'm pretty sure what it is you get your podcast and you grow your viewership to a large enough audience that, the recognition is there. And once the recognition is there, that's what draws companies to come and sponsor, that come to you so you can, promote to your audience, because if you can reach, 2 million people, that's a big amount of audience that you're able to reach directly. And, these people are listening to what you're saying. So it's not saying that you have influence, but, you kind of they have your voices getting directed to, you're the ear that they're listening to. And in the meantime, these products are getting pitched towards their way. But
it's like a job having this podcast.
But yeah,
the networking
but see, it's put in, like I said, it's put in the work, it's put in the time. You can't expect just to come up here and just say some stuff and then expect to be famous. You got to put in the time, grow that circle, get to meet people who do the same thing as you do. That's the number one. That's also another thing I was taught from this gentleman was, the people that you hang around will influence what you do. If you hang out with a bunch of losers, man, you will be a loser.
Well, it's just like hang out with people who get in trouble. It's only a matter of time before you get in trouble.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. If you hang out with losers, you'll be losers. But if you want to be rich, or if you want to live a successful life, you go talk to that person who's doing that. You know, you see that person who has that Ferrari car that you've always wanted. You see that poster. You have that poster on your wall. You know, you see that gentleman with that car, or that female or you see that female with that car. You know, you gotta get up. You have to have the courage to go up and talk to these people and be like, hey, you know, what is it that you do? How do I become? You know, how do I get to where you're at? You know, there are people. Don't think all people are snotty and sloppy. There aren't. There are people that are out there to help you. And there will be people who sit there and will teach you some knowledge. You know, that's what happened to me. I just met a gentleman, and me and him would just sit down a couple of hours at Starbucks over a course of like a couple of months. And, you know, he was just spitting business knowledge to me, you know, and it turned my world about how the world works and making money, and, you know, how if I want to live comfortably, you know, how I can do that to provide for myself. But also, it's up to me to put in the work to go seek that out and learn that knowledge and put that knowledge towards something, you know.
But I have learned that looks can be deceiving. Now, just because they got a Ferrari and Lamborghini, that do not mean they got knowledge.
Exactly. So, that's like getting into that. That's like that Instagram life.
They can bluff you, yeah.
The people who rent their stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Know, they can say I do this and that and this and that, but then once you really peel back that layer,
dude, there's something legit about that person, and you'll know. You'll know. There's something genuine about people like that. You know, there's really there's no faking. I mean, you could try to fake it, but you could fake it for so long. I mean, eventually that Lamborghini or Ferrari is going to be returning. Are you going to put yourself in debt for it? I mean, you're going to look foolish one way or the other. So, but, I mean, there are people who are willing. There are people who are out there who are willing to help you and teach you. But also in that aspect, I mean, that's for anything in life. I mean, if you want to be, let's say, if you want to be a nurse, you know, if you see a nurse, you know, go talk to them. It's for any profession. Go talk. It's what the whole networking thing is. You go talk to them, and you know, you ask them how did they get to where they are, because that's where you want to be. They're a nurse. You want to be a nurse. So they kind of tell you, you know, hey, these are my steps. I did this, and this. You know, you go talk to another couple of people, and you never know. They might be able to direct you to a program that will get you into nursing. And you know, somebody who you may have talked to before who told you about that program, you know, they may be friends with someone who's also a nurse, who's maybe friends with the head of that program, you know, and they can be like, hey, my friend so-and-so is interested in doing this program, you know, help them through this or manage them through this to help them get to this goal of completing these steps. You know, there's people who know, there's people who are doing what you want to do. So there's obviously already a path, but there's 1,000 paths to get there.
So if somebody came up to you and asked you for how to do stuff, would you tell them or would you charge them? Because, you know, like Snoop say, the game is to be sold, not to be told. So would you take time out of your day to show them, give them the steps on how to start something like you, or would they have to buy the knowledge? See, because a lot of people want you to pay for knowledge. But some people don't. Like if somebody came to me asking me about podcasts and stuff, I'd tell them, you know, but I probably wouldn't charge them or nothing. I'd do it for free. But
yeah, like I said, everybody is their own
boss.
Not boss. Everybody's different. So you never know how that person may act. But, does it hurt to ask?
No, I mean, what's the worst they can say?
Exactly. So, I mean, you ask them, like I said, you ask them how where they're at is where you want to be. You ask them how they got there. And you try to find out what's the best way that fits you.
Yeah, you got a point there.
But
we gonna, whoo, wow. He really went off on that one, boy. We gonna move to the next topic. It's like the business episode right here. This is like the business episode. Now, he been trying to get me into buying stocks and stuff for a while, you know. And every time he tell me his return, I do really think about getting into it. But Kellz is a stock guy, so how did you get into stocks?
how did I get to stocks?
Watching The Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh, man, I love that movie. I have to say that's probably like
No, that's what got you
top
motivated,
2
huh?
movie. Oh, yeah. I love it. It's probably like top 2 movies for me. That movie's no joke. No, but what I learned from stocks was that, you know, it was a way for my money to make money for me. So it's a way to invest into, put my money aside somewhere. And as that money is sitting aside, you know, allow it to gain interest, you know, gain value.
So rather than sitting in the bank.
Exactly. You know, sometimes in the bank, you can let your money, you can have thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in the bank. And if you go look at their interest rates on some, I mean, their return interest rates are ridiculously low.
But
you would see that, like, some people, I can't remember who I was talking to. Someone said they had like $13,000 in the bank, and they got like their little check for interest, and it was like $1.30. It was something like ridiculous.
well, you gotta think though, it's safer in the bank because the stock market, you can lose the money.
Oh yeah.
In the bank, you can't just lose the money.
Yeah. And yeah, I've lost money. I've lost money in the stock market.
You start looking at the sky.
I can't even tell you, but it's because it's trial and error. I mean, right now I'm not taking classes. I'm not learning from anybody except from the University of YouTube.
Man, that's a great school, free of charge.
With what I do for work, man, I put my phone on a video on like a subject like stock trading, and I just let it play for hours and hours. It may be over the
What kind
same
of battery you got?
It may be over. Hey,
You gotta play for hours.
it's that iPhone, baby.
All
Told
right,
you
we'll
need to get rid of that Android.
We'll go with that.
Shit,
All right,
garbage.
back to the stock.
But I would just let it play for hours and hours and hours. And it was something that I was interested in. I mean, that's one of the, I mean, like I said, my business is something I would like it to grow, that it becomes an asset. And, you know, if I'm making $6,000 a month, that I'm able to just sit back and invest it and let that $6,000 be able to make money for me. I mean, the interest, if you know how to trade, it pays off. I mean, some days I wake up and just from placing a trade, like within like a couple of minutes of the market opening, I'll be making like a few hundred thousand. I wish. Shit. No, I'd be making a few $100. And then there's some days, I mean, that I don't trade correctly and I lose a little bit of money, but it's right now for me, it's just trial and error. I'm basically putting my money towards stocks that I know that will always be value, that will always go up in value. Like, they're called like blue chip stocks. Like, for instance, like the Amazons, you know, the Microsofts, stuff that you know that's real secure, that you know that's going to go up or at least stay steady. And, you know, I just try to day trade off those, you know, try to catch them at a low price and sell them.
That sounds like me and eBay.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. I mean, and that's basically how I'm selling anything in life. Try to buy it low and sell it higher than what it's worth. And it's the same thing.
Passing that thousandaire knowledge for free 99.
Yeah, so
like
I
Jay-Z.
use, like I said, I just get the money from my job, use it to, I wanted to get into something new to help me make more money, and stock was the thing. So just learning to buy stocks, trading. To me, I feel like it's interesting. Get to keep up on businesses, keep you up late on the latest news, because I mean, the littlest things, I mean, change like the prices in the stock market. Like when Amazon's talking about buying this little company or merging with this or like that, I mean, that company's stock may like jump up, but you'll see their competitors just fall. And I mean, and it's like that with every little business. I mean, you see what's going on in the world, and you see how it affects the market. You see when the president says some crazy shit and people get nervous and they don't know what's going on. You'll see it. Some days you'll see it in the market, in some trades. You'll see that people start taking their money out, but it's all on emotional. And then you buy it low on those days, and when everybody feels all happy and secure again and they invest their money back, they just drive the price back up for you, and you just sell it back off again. I mean, it's just all trial and error for me. Everybody has their own little philosophy, own little style, as you see. I mean, you go on YouTube, I mean, there's people who've worked for, I mean, the big banks up there, and they give out free lectures to people. They have like hundreds of lectures that they've given the universities, or, you know, they have their own courses and programs that they have online for themselves. And you'll see that everybody has their own philosophy. Some people kind of think the same way as you do. You kind of try to apply, you know, a little bit of everything that you learn from everybody, and, you know, try to make the best situation and the best knowledgeable guest sometimes.
He laying down this knowledge right here. See, this what, you know, this is what this podcast for. You know, we like to get people on here who like to spread knowledge. Because I don't know nothing about stocks, but I feel like I'm learning something, you know, every time he tell me about it. And any of our listeners out there, you know, if you do stocks, you know, leave us some of your secrets. But then once I think about it, I always tell y'all to leave it, even though you can't call in or nothing. But hopefully, by the time this podcast come out, we'll have a voicemail and a number set up.
What you should do,
here we go,
is go buy you an iPhone.
Oh, come on,
and you can
man.
use that garbage ass Android for for this, so people have something to call into.
Listen, I'm working on getting me a voicemail number so people can call in.
What is that shit called? What is that thing called? They have the commercial for the leapfrog, whatever it's called.
The leapfrog.
It's like the leapfrog, home frog, something that lets you make like your business, make a private business number.
Oh yeah, well no, we working on that right there.
Man, you better.
It's in the works. It's in the works.
Can't you get a free number from Skype?
Oh no, it's in the works. That's why I said, hopefully by the time this podcast come out, we will have a number set up with a voicemail that you can call in, leave your questions and your comments on some of these questions that we ask. You know, that's what we here for. You know, I'm just trying to tell you. But, you know, thank you for that business, the business knowledge side right there, Kelly. You know, man, he had a lot to get off his chest.
If you got anything from it, I'm pretty sure it's a bunch of gibberish.
I know. I'll tell you, at the end of this episode, we're gonna, you know, he gonna have to tell y'all how y'all can get a hold of him.
The best thing I can basically say out of all of it, just to sum it up, is, honestly, the best way to put it, from what I read in the book, it wasn't not too long ago that people were employees of like big businesses. You know, back in the day, people, you know, worked on their own. You know, you picked up a skill or a trade, and, you know, you made money from it. You know, that's how some people got their last names, the Bakers, the Smiths. You know, I mean, the shit that they taught us in school, how some people got their last names, because it's based off some of the trades that they done for.
So hey, we finna lighten it up some right here. You know, thanks again, Kelly. But this the question. You know, some women get mad about. Is it okay for grown men to play video games? I mean, I think so. I mean, what about you? What age is the cutoff for video games?
Man, that's hard to say. Especially now with everything becoming so electronic and everything.
Okay. So when they say video games, do that mean like Xbox, PlayStation, or with the games on your cell phone? Is that all considered the same?
It's crazy because you don't know. Because sometimes she'll be mad at you for playing on the Xbox, but at the same time she's playing like Candy Crush on her phone. Like so, you're like, that ain't the same thing. Yeah. I'm like, tell me that's not the same thing. Come on. I'm like, you're doing the same thing. It's just has to be on a different type of platform. But I mean, me, I'm a big ass. I think of myself as a big ass kid. I mean, I've grown up with video games, so I mean, that was always one of my forms of entertainment growing up. So I mean, it's still one of the things I enjoy. I mean, from what Madden and racing games used to look like to what they look like now. I mean, why not to play
video games?
And exactly, like some people are starting to now get paid. I mean, I guess if you're younger and you're in high school or in grade school, I mean, you can look towards that time as an investment to, I mean, they're talking about some schools doing esports scholarships. So, I mean, I guess you could talk about that.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Esports.
So, like, how they have, like...
EA Sports?
No,
it's
like,
in the game.
Electronic sports. So, like, not like that, but, like video game tournaments and stuff like that. Like, there's schools that are, like, starting to compete in those because they're starting to make... starting to make money off those.
You better not tell me you get a scholarship for playing video
games. Oh, yeah. There's schools that are starting to offer it.
I've been lied to all this time. God... Man, I could have been had a scholarship.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, I mean, it's always been one of my forms of entertainment as growing up was always watching video games. I always been a homebody. I played sports growing up, so I mean, it was, you know, go to school, come home, go to practice, and I mean, once you get back home from practice, if it's late, I mean, what else are you going to do before you go to bed? You can't go outside, so might as well jump on the PlayStation, jump on the Xbox for a second, and you know. So that was like my form of entertainment. I understand if you're spending too much time in front of the Xbox.
What is considered too much time? Like when you're not taking care of your family no more? Is that too much time?
Yeah.
Or say it's on your off day. How many hours do you think you can play the game that's comfortable to play the game? No, he think about this.
I don't know.
He about to say 22 hours.
Oh, no. I'm stuck in this John Wick movie. I'm telling you to watch it forever, dude.
What?
But no,
come on.
I'll probably say maybe like a couple of hours and then like, you know, take like maybe couple hours during the day and then, you know, take care of your business, and then maybe at night once everything's settled down and, you know, it's about time to go to bed or something, you know, play for a little while. But to sit there all day, that's something different, especially if you ain't got shit going on for yourself.
Do you think it's immature?
Nah, like I said, everybody has their own form of entertainment. Everybody's different. Like I said, I started growing up with video games, so I mean, it's one thing I enjoy. So I mean, if I enjoyed it when it was shitty back then with those graphics, why wouldn't I like it more now? You know, but I mean, I wouldn't let it say it. I would even say it even controls my life. I mean, why sit there and play Call of Duty when I can actually just go to the shooting range myself, you know?
Well, no, it's just like saying, why play Madden? when you could just get some people together and go play football.
True.
Or play basketball, play 2K when you could just go to a gym.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all about how you look at it, though. That's what I'm saying. I guess it's all about what you think more of what the concept of the video game is. I guess if you think it's bad and you see it as a waste of time, I guess you don't see any value in it. I mean, you can say it helps problem solving, communication, teamwork sometimes, but I don't know. I guess it's all about what you get out of it.
So what are some of the benefits?
I just said them.
You did?
Yeah.
I'm about to cut that out.
It's like right here on John Wick. Homie just got blasted sitting there trying to play the game.
All right, I got this. If you can replace this is the topic, y'all. If you can replace your life with one movie, what would it be?
Man, one movie. That's hard because I love a whole bunch of movies.
What?
I guess
it'll
matter. Man, that's hard. It's hard to put it down. Probably The Wolf of Wall Street. I told you. I told you that was like one of my top two.
Remember what happened to him at the end? You sure you want to do The Wolf of Wall Street?
He didn't even turn out that bad. He basically started over from scratch again.
Seeing what
went back to hustling
at the end of the movies that would be included, you would still pick The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah,
I started to pick Friday, but I didn't really feel like getting shot at and getting the fight with Debo that night.
Get your ass knocked out.
Yeah, now you got me thinking because I don't know what what would I do?
Hit him in the head with a brick.
No, I wouldn't even do Friday. I wouldn't even do Friday. I had to probably do that Richie Rich.
Richie Rich.
Yeah, I was thinking Narcos, but it never ended good in Narcos. Yeah, I don't. That's a show anyway.
That's crazy. Well, I guess like I said, it depends on that fantasy style. I'm pretty sure there's some people who want to be a superhero or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know. I would say I don't know what movie I want to be.
And your hobbies. I wish I could shoot a gun like John Wick. That'd be fucking crazy.
You still want to hit the target.
You just don't know.
Well,
I told you need to come out there to the range with me.
Well, yeah. Well,
we go out there and shoot a video or some shit.
Well, yeah, I guess you got a point. I wouldn't mind going out to the range.
Show you how to do it.
Why, do you think you'll start YouTube for guns?
Nah, that's too expensive.
A YouTube for guns?
Man.
How is that too expensive if you can rent
ammo
the guns?
Is not cheap. Well,
you can rent any gun you want.
Can't. Well, you can rent every gun, but I don't want to. That's a lot of money every time you go. That's like an additional like $15, $20 every time, depending on where you're going.
I don't know if you want to do a gun YouTube considering what's going on.
I know, and that's the bad thing when you bring up shooting. I know, especially at that time. I'm pretty sure that's all people think of. I'm pretty sure that like I tell them like I enjoy shooting, like going to the range.
Yeah,
people are like, "This nigga's crazy."
Yeah,
but nah. I remember the first time I picked up a gun. Living here in Washington, I went to a gun shop and went to the shooting range there, and man,
fell in love
with it. But I mean, I'm not irresponsible or anything with that, especially with the guns I have now. I mean, not irresponsible to the least. I mean, even before I purchased the gun, I mean, I know a gun. I'll think I know a gun I want. I mean, before I even considered going to go get the purchase, you know, I've watched like maybe like 10 to like 20 videos just over that one gun of that exact platform, you know, learning the ins and out of it, you know, how to clean it, how to make sure to break it. I mean, breaking it down, putting it together, you know, make sure I know everything before I go make a purchase, especially something like that. Especially, I mean, you fuck around with a gun, you do something incorrectly, it can end bad. So, I mean, I feel with anything, knowledge is power. So I'll do my research before I go do anything like that.
Well, there you go.
But no, yeah, that's a shame. That shit gets people with guns bad names.
Or just like Pitbull.
Yeah, just exactly like that. It's like a stigma like that. But I mean,
well,
for every
they say it's always that one person who ruined it, but I don't know.
It's
it ain't just one person.
But
in the U.S., it's more than one person.
But it's sad because for everything like that happens. Just unfortunately, they're sad events, but it's something that happens out the blue, and it's nothing you can prevent, and it's nothing that. There's nothing you could prepare for. Unfortunately, it happens. And
so, do you think they need stricter gun laws? Or if you was in charge of the NRA, would you change?
It's not stricter gun laws. It's just common sense. Like I said,
because it's easy to get a gun license.
Oh my God, it's not even the license. It's just to go get the gun. It's pretty simple itself.
See,
but to me, it's just common sense. To me, it's just common sense laws. If you have any mental issues or...
But some people can hide those pretty well, though.
I know, but like I said, you can only do your best. You can only do your best to prevent it, but it's all common sense. Someone who has mental issues, if they're in some type of system, maybe it's probably not the best that they go buy a gun. They had that legislation before, but it just kind of got reversed back here in February. In February, but not too long ago. That same type of legislation, whatever you want to call it, it got reversed back to that. That restrictions got taken off. But it's more. To me, it's more common sense. Like, I don't see what the problem is of owning a silencer or a suppressor. I don't understand what the big deal is holding high capacity magazines. I don't see no issue with automatic weapons. It's all the same. It's just all about responsibility. We have laws in place to do the best to keep society running as good as it can, but as you can see, even with those laws in place, you can't stop the unpredictable events. Even like gun advocates, the thing about that is that, it's a culture. The gun culture is a culture. And some people live that culture to like the T, They're like all guns and all guns in. I enjoy shooting, and it's a fun activity to do. If anyone who's ever shot a gun will tell you, man, it's pretty fun. But there's people who use that term as like defense, like, oh, I need this big ass rifle or this for defense. Like, who the f are you beefing with that you need this rifle? Like, who's really about to come?
I don't know. Some rappers beef with everybody.
Okay, but mostly think about who are the people in the NRA and stuff like that. Your general NRA member.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Exactly. And where do you think they're living?
So let me ask you this: if a person have 60 guns, would they raise an eyebrow to you?
Hell yeah. I'm like, nigga, who are you about to go?
Because I know somebody who has...
It's suspicious. It's not suspicious, but I know somebody who has 60 guns. I'm like... It's your right. It's your right to have them. And it's not like you could shoot all 60 at a time, so it's not like... The fact that you have the money and you have the capability to actually, when you go to the range or anything, that you actually have a large variety of selection. That's pretty nice. And that's how, I'm pretty sure that's how most gun owners see it, is that, I invest my money into guns because this is the activity I find joyful. And,
just like collecting shoes.
And I buy all these rifles because, when I go to the range and, I use this rifle for this type of shooting, and I use this rifle for this type of drills, or, I feel just more comfortable in trying to do, whatever,
Well, yeah, I guess
it's just more common sense. But
they just did though. People don't got common sense no more.
Nah.
That stuff got expensive now. It used to be free.
And it's crazy. I mean, like we were talking about the other day, that video that came out, that no lack shit that they showed. That shit is crazy. How the fuck you gonna just sit up there and make a video of you doing like a first person view, holding a loaded pistol, walking up to people with yourself?
Did he show it loaded?
Huh?
He showed it was loaded?
Yeah, well the magazine is clear. It's a clear magazine. You can see the
okay. Yeah, I ain't paying much
the bullets in there and stuff and everything. And yeah,
people
how you
incriminate themselves.
But it's not even that. But it's the fact that he's just going up to it and he's pointing the gun at somebody. All it takes is one slip of the trigger, and pow, he just shot somebody and he didn't even mean to. And it happens all the time. And you hear about it all the time. And it's shit like that gives like guns and everything bad reps.
Well, that's because people pull guns now.
Like they're real actual toys.
Or like they used to say, don't pull them unless you're gonna shoot it.
Yes,
but now people just pull it
because they act like it's a toy and they act like it's an accessory piece.
Well, some people, that's their power.
Exactly.
Their gun make them feel like Superman. So
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like you could turn the geekiest person to a tough guy, just give them a gun.
Yeah.
And then plus they so easy to get on the street.